This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Monday, March 13th, 2006, and this is episode number 73 of Walt Disney World Today. I'm Matt Hochberg from mgmstudios.org. On today's panel, we've got live, again, from Walt Disney World, it's Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. Welcome, Mike.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
And, that's all I have. And we've also got the co-author of the Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World, Len Testa. Welcome, Len.
How you doing, Matt?
And we have Len's fabulous sister, Christina Testa, researcher on the Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World. Welcome, Christina. That sounds a lot like the alarm that goes off when I try to take a picture on a ride. And rounding out our panel today is Mike Scopa of MousePlanet.com. Welcome, Mike.
Hey, Bear! You're not even funny in 3D!
That's the first one I got. That was very good.
Well, on today's show, we're continuing our walk around the Magic Kingdom. We've done Fantasyland and Adventureland, so if you're interested in hearing those episodes, be sure to check out some of the older episodes at wdwtoday.com. Today we're going to be doing Tomorrowland, and we're going to be going attraction by attraction, giving you our thoughts on them. And we're going to start off today, we're going in alphabetical order, so we'll start off with Astro Orbiter, otherwise known as the poor man's Dumbo.
Astro Dumbo.
Has anyone waited in this line that if the line is more than 5 minutes long?
No.
I mean, I did. And can we again go back to the phallic references?
What?
Yeah, I have actually.
What's the phallic reference?
I have to tell you that this ride is the best ride in the universe to be on, or to be in line at 10 minutes before the fireworks start, because it's the best ride. I mean, when you're on the ride and the fireworks are going off, I've just never seen a better show.
That's interesting.
That's actually a useful tip, but I want to go back to the phallic thing.
Email? I'm going to have a fan
Yeah, I'm afraid we are.
A phallic fan club. No, best ride in
Phallic
the
fan
world.
club. I think there's a
Everybody
word
thinks
like that.
when everybody's, crowding around the castle right before fireworks,
Yeah.
but I've never seen them better.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad tip.
Thank
I know, Len's surprised.
Holy cow!
Useful information. But when you're not riding during the fireworks, though, I find the problem is that I think, Len, you may have brought this up to me, is that the problem with the attraction is that you're seeing a lot of areas that are unthemed because they're not supposed to be seen by people, like roofs and, I mean, it's not, the view is interesting, but there's not a whole lot to see, really.
I think it's better at night. It's one of those attractions that are better at night.
That's the same problem with the Skyway.
It doesn't do that much. I mean, two things about the ride. One, it doesn't do a whole heck of a lot. It is better at night, though. The other thing is that it's a remarkably scary ride for small children and senior citizens.
That's it. Yeah, or anyone with fear of heights.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin, the ride where I still can't figure out how you get a lot of points on it. I mean, there's supposed to be specific targets and whatever, but it just seems totally arbitrary. I don't know.
Seriously, it works.
Really? So you can consider. What? Do you have any? Do you know any offhand?
Yeah, what's that one beyond? Is it 100,000?
The claw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought everybody knew that.
Really, the claw?
Well, I thought everyone knew that the hydrolators didn't move.
The hydrolators do move.
Matt,
Good catch, Len. Good catch.
Matt was like, oh, you mean you don't go...
on those sugar highs.
maybe it was the Wonka bars talking.
Oh my God, stop!
The insulin was affecting his inner ear. That's why he had sort of ear disorder.
Warning, Wonka bars may cause may cause you to think that things that aren't moving are actually moving.
Whoa, but what if you are moving? Dude.
What's everyone's thoughts?
Buzz Lightyear's good. I mean, I have this theory about why Buzz Lightyear is so popular, like it and Shrunken Ned's Junior Jungle Boat Adventures, that they're one of the few interactive things in the theme park.
That's correct.
And people like it because it's interactive. You can, instead of the show being presented to you and you sitting there passively absorbing it, it's actually one of the few things in Walt Disney World where you can actually do something to affect the ride.
It's good for those competitive buttholes like myself that you're always looking, for a way to win something.
Yep.
So. I think that's
Have you ever-
He's like, yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are competitive. Yeah. Have you ever gotten like your trigger finger sore or blistered after being on the ride? That's a sign.
I don't believe that's happened to me yet.
Yeah? You're just not trying hard enough.
I guess. The next attraction, well, it's one of the two attractions that may or may not be open for very much longer. That would be the Carousel of Progress. It's still technically open, weather permitting. It's one of those signature attractions that have been around forever, it seems, and unfortunately it's been on its way out. They've been kind of the kiss of death is the word seasonal.
Yeah.
Anyone's I don't know. I mean, do we like the Carousel of Progress? I mean, some people like it, and some people think that it's if you really need somewhere to sit and need air conditioning, that's about the extent of they're willing to sit on it.
Or a nap.
Yes.
Or a nap.
Here we
Although
go.
the last couple of times I have been in there, I've been sitting in the front row, and I've basically been looking for hidden Mickeys on all the dioramas. That's the only thing I find interesting about it at this point. Just looking for the hidden Mickeys up there.
I think it's. Well, Newell, did you want to say something?
No, good.
I like the attraction. I mean, it's well conceived. The problem is like where it stops for our listeners who haven't been on it. It essentially follows a family through 4 seasons and through roughly like 20 or 25 year increments throughout the beginning of the 20th century. So springtime is like around the year 1900-ish, somewhere in there. Summer is like around 1930, Matt?
Yeah, it's about the time that Edison. I remember there's something about light bulbs and the wash only takes like 8 hours to do or something like that.
There's one roughly in the 50s, and then there's one like that used to be the late 80s, early 90s. Now it's sort of like a late 90s, 2000 thing. The problem with it is that last scene where you've seen like all the technological progress that goes on through the family's life is stuff that's like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like big screen TVs,
Laser
digital alarm clocks, computers in the home with flat screens. It's nothing, there's nothing I think that you see in that last scene that's supposed to be the end result of technological progress. There's nothing there that you can't go out and buy it at Circuit City.
Well, here's the real question. Does the theater move, or does nobody move? Maybe this is like the hydrolators, and we don't actually move.
You move around the theater.
Okay, just making sure. Sometimes they have Wonka bars when I'm on there, and
the
the whole room just starts spinning.
Doesn't it have the best theme song, though?
No hydrolators.
All day.
It's at 2 right now.
Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow.
Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow. Now
Sing it for 3 days.
There's a great. Now, doesn't Walt actually do one of the songs on the radio?
Newell?
No, Walt.
Walt Newell?
Walter Newell?
Walter Newell? Walter E. Newell?
Walter Newell. Yeah, I don't know. Probably not him singing.
To those who come to this happy place. I'm trying to think, what are you talking about?
In the where the cuckoo clock comes out and says, "That soprano's driving me crazy." When the radio's playing at I think it's in the springtime scene. There's a soprano singing on the radio, and it's
now
singing
the
the
time,
Great Big
right?
Beautiful Tomorrow. My understanding was that was actually Walt singing it.
Wow.
I never heard that. Yeah, that's cool if that's true.
You know what? We need Lou Mongello here.
Yeah. I know that the uncle is voiced by somebody famous, is he not?
Yes. No privacy at all around this place.
Yeah.
Uncle Orville.
I think question to Lou Mongello coming up.
That's the guy who did Bugs Bunny.
It's Frank Oz, is that it?
No. Mel Blanc.
Mel Blanc?
Right. Mel Blanc.
And the
Mel
narrator.
Blanc.
The narrator is the same guy who narrated A Christmas Story. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Didn't he just die?
He died a few years ago, I think.
Oh, you know who died? The guy Darren McGavin just died, Len. The guy.
The actor from The Christmas Story.
Yeah.
He was a nice talker. But anyway.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is Mel Blanc who does Cousin Orville. It's Cousin Orville?
I thought it was Uncle Orville.
Because I'm looking at DisneyWorldTrivia.com, and they have Cousin Orville.
I thought it was Uncle Orville. Didn't they redo that?
That's what I thought too.
It depends on what script you're looking at.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, the next attraction is our favorite attraction, Stitch's Great Escape.
Yay!
You know, it's one of those. This is one of those moments that we have to capture for posterity because eventually it'll be gone. We'll wonder what all the fuss is about.
It's kind of like the birthday cake castle.
Yeah, exactly. There's just not much good to say about it. It's just not that great of an attraction.
No.
You know, the wait times recently have been like, you know, when Space Mountain's at like a 60 or 70 minute wait, Stitch's like at a 5 to 15 minute wait.
Yeah, I mean it's non-existent.
Yeah, I mean it's really back to either back to where it was with Alien Encounter or lower. Which is probably not what they were thinking when they spent $25 million on it. Upgraded. I'm thinking they were looking for more than that 2-minute incremental bump in wait time. It was Mission Mars. Probably the best implementation of the best use of that space.
I haven't been on.
Well, by the way, Len,
Tricky Leg Factory, and that would be better.
Oh man, a giant.
Len, speaking of Mission to Mars, I believe you mentioned to me, I believe it might have been on an earlier podcast, that in Mission Space there's a video of the bird from Mission to Mars, and I was watching it when I was in line for Mission Space, and I was like, oh, I finally paid attention to it. That's
that's actually the and you get the whole Mars thing on both of them, right? So that's the interesting part of it. Yeah, but apparently it's the old video.
Well, perhaps
you'll have the audio for the attraction, the complete audio attraction to Mission to Mars. It's usually available if you do a search on Google, like Mission to Mars MP3 stuff like that. It should be available. You can listen to the whole.
Well, perhaps if they're recycling stuff from old attractions, maybe when Stitch finally closes, they'll have like those guns, like put in like the restaurants on the counter service, so when you get your food, they'll shoot it at you.
Yeah, that's how you can get your ketchup and mustard, right?
Yeah, right. You just point your dish to it and look.
Exactly. It'll get around.
It'll be like a Slimer from Ghostbusters, you know. I mean, it'll just be like you'll just be hit with it.
Yeah, that might work actually. Cool.
Our next attraction is Space Mountain.
Yeah.
Probably, I think it's always everyone's first roller coaster. I mean, anyone's ever been on a roller coaster?
Yeah.
Yep. Is there any truth that one side is not scarier, but more wild, I guess, than the other side?
It's a good question. I mean, they are two completely different experiences, but I'll let somebody else to talk about whether they're scary.
I mean, they're more.
Tell the difference.
You can tell the difference, Mike?
I never could tell the difference.
Really?
I never really, paid that much attention. It's like, just sit back and enjoy it. So maybe if I was looking for it, maybe next time I'll be looking for it.
The interesting thing, I mean, usually Disney's allocating the whole left side now to the right side to Fast Pass, right?
Yeah, when Fast Pass is.
On a typical day, the right side is usually dedicated to Fast Pass after about like 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So most people, if they're going standby, will only get the left side experience. But I think, if I recall correctly, there's a bigger drop on the left side.
Maybe true.
One is, I think, if I remember them correctly, it's been like 3 weeks or a month since I've been on it, so it's been a while.
That's a long
One side has more tight turns, one side has a few more drops, but none of them are really huge.
Drops. I think the left.
Scopa?
Yeah, I'm thinking the left. I think you're right.
Well, don't worry. I'm sure our listeners.
I think you're correct. The left.
Our listeners will email us with all the correct information.
Is anybody else here that the giant asteroids that fly by? Is anybody else here that those are actually enlarged photos of chocolate chip cookies?
I have not heard that.
I've heard that for years. Sure.
I mean, if you look at it,
it could be true.
It's sort of.
I think maybe
one story though. Like Matt said, Space Mountain is the first roller coaster that everyone usually goes on, right? When they're kids. I used to think when I was young that the shooting stars that go by really, really fast.
Yep.
That those were the cars. And so I think from the time I was like 7 until the time I was 22. Yeah, I had my eyes closed the entire ride. I mean, like shut. Like, hey, the ride's over. That's great.
That's interesting. Were you scared?
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, yeah, I was terrified. It was in the dark, and
Let me tell you something. A ride that still scares me to this day is Dinosaur.
Me
Really?
too. Scares the bejesus out of me.
Yes.
I have to pee before I go on the ride.
No, I can't keep my eyes open, and I have to cuddle against somebody. I don't care if I don't know them. I huddle.
Whatever.
Because
yeah.
I don't know.
I rode that. I rode that attraction in May, and I'm keeping my eyes open, but it's that final scene that I kind of said, I don't really want to see it, and
It goes, because it's the part where it goes left, right, left, and then they scream in your ear with a huge T-Rex. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's coming, but it still scares the hell out of me.
But what was really embarrassing was that there was a 4-year-old kid sitting in front of us, and the attraction stopped. It delayed, and they were doing something. And he turned around to me and my son, and he's saying, "No, you guys don't get scared." Blah blah blah. And this kid just loved the whole attraction. These things are jumping out at him. These huge things, and this 4-year-old kid is showing me up.
Funny. That's my daughter. She went on, and I thought, I gave her the whole speech ahead of time, like, Hannah, they're not real dinosaurs. They're pretend. Everything. She laughed the whole way through. She thought it was just funny.
Well, I guess next time, Christina, I, and Mike will have to ride together.
Ride together. I mean,
That's right.
Just be careful, Mike. He's going to cuddle against you.
Yeah.
I
know we're not talking about dinosaurs. You guys know that the pipe on the writing on the pipes in Dinosaur.
Are you freaking kidding me with that?
The yellow, the red, and the white pipes. Those are the chemical names or symbols for ketchup, mustard, and mayo.
That's great.
Because it's sponsored by McDonald's. Get it? Great.
Well, I know that Dinosaur.
Back to Tomorrowland.
Well, I know one last thing about Dinosaur. I know that Dinosaur is the same exact ride as Indiana Jones. Different theming.
Thank your God, yeah.
But same thing. Anyway, like Len said, back to Tomorrowland. The next one is the Tomorrowland Indy Speedway.
Does everyone get off this ride and cannot be able to stand on the right leg? It's all a little wobbly.
I want to. I mean, you could really cause civil disobedience on this ride, couldn't you? If you just parked your car in the middle of the track.
If you just stopped.
If you just stopped. That's it. I ain't going any farther.
Have a little Gandhi moment. I will not go farther. We must love each other. I've always wanted to get off in the middle and just start making a run for it. I know that people would pop out of the little.
God! If you got run over, I could just see the news story. And in other news today, a tourist was hit by a car on Tomorrowland Speedway.
You should do that just so that you can give the unofficial version of what happened in
jail,
hospital.
Unofficial guide to prison. Yeah, that's great.
The 60-year-old who hit the tourist was quite shaken up by the whole ordeal.
Hospital and
I have to explain what I was doing there.
No, I mean, fall or something. Something. I mean, don't you want to know what happened?
On the ride?
No, somewhere, just fall. I'm just saying, have an attack and sometimes just fall down.
An episode?
An episode and just see where they caught you. Don't let them defibrillate you or whatever it is.
Let them defibrillate them.
Defibrillate me.
Where?
They take out a bone in my leg.
And the last attraction, I believe, is our favorite attraction, which is the Tomorrowland Transit Authority.
That's right.
I always... Go ahead, Len.
Okay.
I was going to say that you go through the Tomorrowland Transit Authority, and you always see these... you get to see places like... you get to see Space Mountain and Buzz Lightyear, from like that vantage point that you have over there. And I never remember to actually look for the Tomorrowland Transit Authority vehicles when I'm on the ride.
Oh, really?
Because I just never... Are they visible from down there? I mean, is it like a one-way mirror?
No, you can see them. If you're on the Fast Pass line in Space Mountain, you can turn around and look at them.
Interesting.
Hey, did you know that the TTA is the tallest point in Tomorrowland?
Right.
I wasn't expecting it.
The great thing about Tomorrowland Transit Authority, it's probably one of the only attractions where you can consistently just stay on the ride no matter what.
Yeah, I've done that.
It's just
We
great.
should have a marathon event where we just sit there and ride one day, like do it for charity or
Yeah, at
something.
least give the money away. Yeah.
Count me in. I'll be there tomorrow.
That would be a.
We'll do the podcast from live on the.
That would be
I'll be
great.
your food runner. That's awesome.
Yeah, it'll be. Christina will be on the other cars that when you pass each other, she'll hand off the food.
We should see if we should do that one day for Mouse Fest. Just we take an entire day and ride TTA as many times as we can.
We'll have a TTA meet. Let's see, that's
People can come in, get off.
has to be on Thursday, right? Magic Kingdom Day is Thursday. So
Oh, we should do that.
We should just have it the whole day. People like Scopa said, you get on, you get off.
Each of us could be, we could take turns in the cars. People could bring us food.
Where's the bathroom? Oh, it's about 2 cars back.
In a car where no one's sitting. Yeah,
It's downwind.
we have to
I like
send people.
I mean, the thing I like about it is it's almost exactly a 10-minute ride, so you can relax for a while. It's parts of it are air conditioned. It's dark. It's cool. It's spacious. It's really
Can you
not
eat
bad.
on that? Today, yeah, I remember eating my Halloween candy on the TTA as.
Oh yeah, they'll let you drink drinks. Yeah.
Oh, it's the most lax cast members ever work at the Tomorrowland Transit Authority.
Simple enough. Like
No matter what.
They'll let you ride over and over again.
Oh yeah. No matter what, they'll always just say, yeah, sure, whatever.
So I can bring Costa Rican pickles on there too.
And you can find one of those damn pickles. Yeah.
Hey Matt, do you want to go over dining real quick in Tomorrowland while we're here?
Sure. Very quickly, you've got Cosmic Ray Starlight Cafe, probably the best idea on paper that does not work in the real world.
That's right.
Yeah, it's the lines, right?
Yeah, it's just, if you want, I mean, unless everyone, you either got to go on a bunch of different lines for the same meal, which is kind of, stupid, unless everyone's going to be eating, the same thing.
Scopa, have you done that? Does your family normally all eat the same thing just because you don't want to wait in the lines?
No. I'll just send when all 4 of us used to go. I used to just give them money and say, go get what you want, because it would take too long for just one person to do it. So we just all would go, say, okay, I want chicken, I want cheeseburger, I want a salad, I want a sandwich, blah blah blah. That way we could pretty much get our food at the same time and eat at the same time. It just I just don't understand why they do that. I mean, if it was just one line on each side, I could understand it. But there are maybe 8 lines on each side. Would you say on all 3 sides?
Yeah, there's at least 6, I think. For our listeners who don't know who haven't been to Cosmic Rays in a while,
should let them know.
The way Cosmic Rays is set up is that there are food stations on 3 sides of a square. Each side has a separate kind of food. Like there's one side devoted strictly to burgers. There's another side devoted to soups and sandwiches, and then there's another side devoted to chicken.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
So if your family, one person in your family wants chicken and one person in your family wants burgers, you either have 2 people each waiting in different lines, or one person waiting in 2 lines, one after the other, which is just a terrible setup because, for all practical purposes, everyone has to eat the same kind of food. Otherwise, you're spending 20 minutes waiting in line for food.
Right.
So it's a great idea that there's variety there. It's a terrible idea in execution because, if you've got 2 parents and 2 kids, one parent either has to take the kids with them in line, which is not what you want to do, or one parent has to wait.
You know that there's got to be at least a couple times a day. There's the parent that goes, "You're going to eat burgers and you're going to like it." I'm not waiting on 2 lines.
You're tofu like the rest of us, and you're going to like it.
The last time I was there, I was there during the marathon the last night before coming home, and I remember looking at that serving area, and the only reason where I could think that they designed it that way was maybe somehow the way that they built it so that they prepare the food sort of got them into this situation where, okay, on this side we're built to make cheeseburgers, on this side we're built to cook chicken. But
I mean, somehow in that central area, right in the.
Yeah, but
so why can't you just walk up to the burger place and have have them slide a burger down the chicken sandwich chute? I mean, what's the?
I don't know.
I know they're not a technologically oriented company, but they can handle that.
I just hope it wasn't the same guy who designed the noodle station,
Yeah. Well, the noodle station at least is decent. It's a great idea. Again, probably not the best execution to start with, but It's coming along.
Get there.
And why don't we move on to the noodle station when, assuming it's open?
Yeah, I think it's open more regularly now. So this is the Asian-inspired restaurant where the Plaza Pavilion used to be.
Right.
Right?
Yep, it's probably the best place for, if you need seating, it's probably one of the easiest places to get seating during a meal time.
Oh, yeah.
That's where we always go to eat our Casey's hot dogs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just eating there.
But it's really, the food really isn't bad. I think originally the reason why it was shut down so much was they didn't have the right kitchen equipment to do Asian noodles. Because before that they were selling pizza and
chicken fingers
and whatnot, and it's not the same kind of equipment that you use to cook Asian noodles or steamed buns. What is they? Steamed pork buns.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, yeah. Dumplings, yeah. That's why. But I think it's open more regularly now.
I think it's just good to have an alternative to burgers.
Oh, amen. Yeah, especially in Tomorrowland too, where there's not a whole lot of food on that end of the park. What's left? What's at the lunching station, by the way?
Oh, that's the lunching pad at Rocket Tower Plaza. That's got turkey legs and drinks. It's basically your turkey leg central for
Tomorrowland.
Do they have pretzels and stuff?
I only have turkey.
But they don't have like sandwiches or burgers or anything like that.
I don't think so.
No, they've got turkey legs. You're right about pretzels line, and then it's just drinks.
Is it?
Yeah.
Anti-Gravities has
Smoothies.
beverages and
Smoothies.
there's no actual
Has
food.
anyone actually had a smoothie there? I've had the ice cream.
I did. They're pretty good. I think the best smoothies though are the ones at in Epcot, right near the Fountain View.
Fountain View Espresso.
Yeah.
Is that place ever open?
Are the best.
Oh yeah. They got good ice cream cake in there too.
I've never seen that place open.
Really?
It's always closed when I go there. It's rocks.
Heaven.
Yeah,
Ice cream
early in the
cake.
morning, man, you can go in there, grab a nice espresso and
Oh yeah.
free Danish.
Wonderful.
Good stuff.
Or, a blueberry muffin the size of your head. But that's a whole other show.
All right, well, that's it for us today. This has been episode number 73 of Walt Disney World Today. If you want to find older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, visit the Walt Disney World Today website at www.wdwtoday.com. You can also email us at questions@wdwtoday.com. Christina Testa, thanks for being on the show again.
Thank you, guys.
And for Len Testa, Mike Scopa, and Mike Newell, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.